They say you should trust your neighbors. I did, and it almost destroyed my life. This is a story I wish I never had to tell, but you need to hear it.
In Ola's compound, hidden behind a rusted green gate that complained loudly whenever it was opened, lived a young woman named Zainab. She was not the kind of woman people noticed immediately. Her beauty did not shout. It did not compete. It did not demand to be seen. It rested quietly on her like early morning dew, soft, restrained, disciplined. It was the kind of beauty that came from restraint rather than ease, from long hours of prayer, from patience learned the hard way, from wounds endured in silence and healed without applause. Zainab believed in order. She believed in rising before dawn to pray. She believed in folding her clothes neatly, in speaking carefully, in choosing peace even when anger begged for expression. She believed that life, no matter how painful, should be carried with dignity. She lived in the compound with her husband, Connor, a successful businessman, the type who did not boast about his achievements yet wore them effortlessly in his posture. He walked with quiet assurance, spoke with measured calm, and listened more than he talked. People respected him instinctively, though many could not explain why. They had been married for just over a year. Their marriage was gentle. At night, laughter escaped their small rented apartment like warm smoke. They prayed together before sleeping. They shared food, silence, dreams, and worries. Connor often teased Zainab about how carefully she arranged their home, and she laughed, pretending not to care. But beneath the laughter lived the silence neither of them could ignore. There were no children. Zainab had been pregnant twice before. Both pregnancies had ended quietly, painfully, leaving behind grief that settled in her chest like uncried tears. Connor never blamed her. He held her when she cried and reminded her that God's timing was never accidental. Still, the silence followed them. Their own house, Connor's dream, was almost complete. The foundation stood strong, the walls tall and proud, the windows already catching sunlight like promise. Only the roofing remained. Until then, Ola's compound became their temporary home. Zainab told herself it would not be long. She did not know that some places are never temporary, even when you leave them. Ola's compound housed 4 families, all bound together by proximity and necessity rather than love. The tall fence that enclosed it had cracks where secrets slipped through easily. The gate creaked like it had witnessed too much and could no longer keep quiet. Life there was loud. Children ran freely, their laughter sharp and careless. Pots clanged from morning till night. Radios competed with each other. Arguments rose and fell like waves, loud but familiar. The women of the compound, Mama Bose, Aya Remy, and Sod, were stay-at-home mothers who ruled the space like an unspoken council. They measured life by endurance, suffering, and how many children you had birthed and raised. To them, womanhood was proven through pain. Zainab was different. She worked outside the home. She left early each morning, dressed neatly, head held high. She returned tired but composed. She did not shout. She did not borrow. She did not complain loudly. And she had no children. At first, Zainab tried to fit in. After work, she stopped at the market and returned with extra items, groundnut oil, bags of rice, loaves of bread, sweets for the children. She shared without being asked, smiled without calculation. The children loved her. They ran toward her every evening. Zainab. Zainab. They clung to her legs, fought over who would carry her handbag, followed her as if she carried magic in her pocket. She has a good heart, neighbors said. Zainab believed that was enough. She did not yet understand that goodness, in certain environments, attracts resentment faster than gratitude. The change did not come suddenly. It crept in. Greetings were returned half-heartedly. Smiles grew thin. Conversations stopped when Zainab entered the compound. Children were pulled away from her gently but firmly. She thinks she's better than us. She's showing off with money. God gave us children. What did he give her? Zainab noticed before she understood. At night, she lay awake beside Connor, staring at the ceiling. Maybe I'm trying too hard, she whispered once. Connor turned toward her. Some people don't like mirrors, he said softly. Your peace reflects their chaos. She wanted to believe that kindness would fix everything. It did not. The incident happened on a quiet afternoon. Zainab stepped outside to fetch water. An empty bucket sat near the tap. Thinking it was hers, she picked it up. The scream tore through the compound like a blade. You Barren woman. Are you blind? Mama Bo stormed out, eyes burning. The compound went silent. Zainab apologized immediately. I'm sorry. I thought, but it was never about the bucket. You used money to block your womb. Mama Bo shouted. You and your husband are doing evil to prosper. The words struck Zainab harder than any slap. The other women watched. No one intervened. That night, Zainab cried until morning. From that day, Zainab withdrew. She stopped sharing. Stopped lingering. Stopped trying. She prayed more. Spoke less. When she finally told her pastor about her miscarriages and the hostility in the compound, his expression darkened. Not every smile is clean, he warned. Distance is sometimes divine protection. Zainab listened. Months later, a new family arrived, Aisha, her husband Musa, and their 3-year-old son Sami. Aisha was warm, generous, trusting. She reminded Zainab of herself. Zainab watched quietly, unease settling in her spirit. 6 months later, Sami fell ill. The fever came suddenly. Violently. By morning, the child was dead. That night, Zainab rose to pray. She looked out the window and froze. Mama Bo stood barefoot under the dim light, whispering into the darkness. Zainab's blood ran cold. Musa refused to bury his son. The police came. A shrine was found. Mama Bo confessed. She hated women with peace. She believed sacrifices kept her children alive. She was arrested screaming. Zainab and Connor moved into their new home. 2 months later, Zainab conceived. This time, the pregnancy stayed. She gave birth to twins. As sunlight filled their living room, Connor whispered, God never sleeps. And Zainab smiled. She was free. Moral lessons. This story teaches that peace can provoke hatred. Kindness needs discernment. Silence can be protection. God's justice may delay, but it never fails. And not all wombs are empty, some are waiting.